Hello everybody, welcome to a new video of James Speed Shop. So, S124 V8 turbo project. For everybody who's new to the channel, in the right corner of you is my logo. You can click on it, see all the other videos of this project. Don't forget to subscribe, of course, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. And also have a look on my website, of course. Link is over here, jamesspeedshop.com. So, I think it's 1.5 months ago that I placed a video. So, been working and of course having a holiday. So that's why I did not do a lot. So just before, I think the last video, I painted the front of the car, the engine bay, fully black. So I wanted to do that because the paint would harden out very good. That is all done now. Also the coating is fully done. That's the only thing I did the last 1.5 months. There are 3 layers of this rubber coating on it now, so it's nice and sealed. It's all up till here, so the half of the engine bay. That's the same I did with the V12. Also placed the steering box in there again. I modified a little bit of the rubber piece because I lowered the steering box a little bit, but I show you that when I'm installing the rest of the suspension and the steering, because it's better to show you with lights, because this is fully black and it's not good to see. Also what I did is install the front suspension arms, and that is it what I did up till this point. So next things what I'm going to do is installing the complete suspension so the car can be on its wheels if needed. And then I'm going to determine how high or how low the suspension will be because of the end rubbers of the shocks. So I will place the front fenders on it and the wheels, and then I can see what is the, well, when I leave all the oil pressure out of the system, how low the car will go. In the front for sure, and in the back it's harder to do because you want to remove the suspension, it's just a little bit more work. So that's for now, and also because if I'm going to install the rear axle, what is weighing, I guess it weighs like 200 kilos or something, with differential and everything in it. All the weight is in the back and nothing in the front, so don't want to tip it off the bridge. So it needs weight in the front, so going to install a lot of things in the front. Also think the intercoolers and that sort of stuff. It's all laying around in my garage. The only thing what can happen is damage it. So going to install all those things, also the ABS, and I will also do the wiring loom, because that also needs, I will get some wires out, because a lot of things will not be used anymore. So I will pull all the wires back into the fuse box, because you cannot make any mistakes in the future again for what was this wire for or anything else. So that's the plan for the first things. If I got everything in there as much as possible, then I will dismantle the engine and rebuild it. So that is the first thing what I'm going to do then after this. Also have a special tool ordered to lock up the front pulley, because it's, I think the torque dimension is around 200 Newton meters, so it will be stuck for sure. So it's all good, all the rust is repaired on this car, no spots anymore, no holes or anything else, so that's very nice. Good coating on it, nice and black. I really like those colors. So it was a little bit too much tape over here, so you can see the original paint here, but yeah, there will be, the fender will be over it, so that's no problem. So brake booster, everything needs to be put back. I will all start on doing that. Also need to think about the ventilation of the car, because I have a donor with air conditioning in it, so I will also change. I think this fan is then a dual one if you have air conditioning. So this is a single fan. I think in air conditioning you have a dual fan. I have to have a look into that, but this is still, when the engine is in here, you can reach this, so it's not really a problem. But yeah, with now when you have parts out of the car, this is just much better. So also I need to change the grease inside the wiper arm. A lot of people forget that. If they got damaged, most of the time it's because the grease is hardened out in there. So that's what I heard. I never did it myself, but I'm going to do now. So let's start. So little update in between. Got the wheels on it. Fender is not stuck, but I had a look if I had to do something about the end rubber. I think you can see it there, the orange piece. So if I lower the car completely onto the rubbers, the fender will be over here, so that's pretty good. So I'm not going to do anything about this end rubbers. So wheels are mounted, brakes are in. I have got the ABS sensors. This is from the type from 1993, I think, because the old ones were pretty damaged, and I already had them all folded in. I have a look where the connector is. Normally you have these connectors. These are the old connectors, but these are completely damaged. You can see it here. So I'm going to use different connectors because I also need to get the signal for the transmission controller. So I will put my own connectors on it, and there's nothing special on this wire because I looked in the other one. There's no shield in it, so it's just two wires. And I checked it with a multimeter. I just got a signal when I'm turning the wheel, so that's good. Other one is also installed here. I got the brake line connected. It's a Banjo connection. It's an Audi Volkswagen piece. Have a look if I can show you from the bottom. You can see there's the line, of course. Banjo upwards. It's a little bit longer, 45 centimeters, but I have to have a look what is the best way, because this is normally the connection where you put it in, and then from here there's a hard line going upwards. But this is long enough, so this is the lowest position. So I'm thinking of getting it mounted in here. So I make just a small hole in here, so it's mounted solid in here with the normal connection just like is on here, and then from a hard line from the inside. It has some benefits because it needs not in the way of the tire, so I can connect it just in between the rubber and mount it against the shock absorber, because otherwise you got a very big chance it will rub. So you can see I mounted it here, something like this, and then the wheel can turn both ways and it should never hit the tire, of course. So everything is mounted, everything is on torque. Yeah, oh good. So I also have installed the steering arms and the steering box. Everything is connected, it's all centered. Also I checked the steering wheel with if it's centered from the steering wheel side. So what I mean by that is that when I put the blinker on, it will shut off the blinker at the right position and still have the wheels going straight forward. So I align it a little bit, so it's in the front, it's 3 millimeters less than in the back, so the wheels are a little bit inwards like it should. That's how I leave it. I will check it when it's on the wheels, otherwise I make them a little bit longer in each side. So it's a little bit toe in, I think it's called, or toe in, I think, yeah. So next thing is I also have the ABS in. You cannot see it from here, but I also have the brake booster in. So next thing is wiring. So I'm going to remove a lot of wires that I don't need, and that's the first thing, because when I have everything in there, I can put the brake lines in the front, and then yeah, brake lines in. Then I can put the hydraulics back in here for the suspension, connect everything, because I'm not sure if I can get the fuse box in when the lines from the hydraulics are in there. After that I will mount the fenders, check everything again, and then the rear axle. So I got the battery in, all the other components are in. So Put the light on here so I can show a little bit more. Got a few how you say that, the OVP relay is still in place because it's also switching some of the power for the ABS. So that's why the 10 amp fuse is in there also. This connection that I have left is also switching the OVP relay when you put the car on ignition. I can also use this extra wire for switching my engine ECU later on. Then I got also an extra power left that is coming straight from X35. X35 is like coming from the battery and from the dynamo and that sort of stuff, or alternator and that sort of stuff. So that I also will use for that. These two cables came from the fuel pump relay, so I'm going to use it to switch my engine ECU and my fuses and relays for the engine. One is left. This is, I think, what is this? Cool water temperature. Need to connect. Got some wires here. That is level of the engine, oil level. I don't know if I'm going to connect it. I have to have a look. And oil pressure for the dash, and the big purple one with white, that is for the starter signal. So that will all be connected. So the last thing that I need to do on the wiring is this loom. So this is like a blinker and the cool water pump, and I don't use it anymore, so I have to look what I'm going to do with the cable. Windshield wiper pump I will place to the back, so I have to rewire those wires. And there's also cooling fluid. Don't have a sensor for that yet, so not sure what I'm going to do with it because the tank is over here. So not sure how I'm going to do that. Maybe later on I will put an adapter in it because it's a possibility to do that. We have to have a look. So battery is placed. I remade this plate so this battery will fit on it, so it can handle a battery with a length of 28 centimeters. So that is a battery between 70 and 78 amp hours. So that is also what maximum is possible to get in here, and it will have a good fitment. So that battery is good enough for a 430 car like COK or an E430. So I looked at a battery for a S124 V8 in the C class or something, and yeah, you have them from 70 amps up till 90 amps hour. So that's good enough for this car. So this is my old battery from a 230. I think it's strong enough, but because this is starting power is 600 amps, and the newer one will have like 680 in between that number. So this is good enough for that. Because in S class it's bigger, it's like 100 amps, but yeah, they have a lot of more luxury in there. So that's not really needed. And I don't have the place for it. So this is the max that I can have in here and still have good view, because I also have to get the oil lines in there. So next what I'm going to do, fix this wiring, get it out of the way, and then start on the hydraulics in the wheel wells both sides. So busy with the vacuum system. But I put it in place, try to search a lot of things about the valves that are involved. Oh, it's flipping. About the valves that are involved for the transmission. There is like I think it's a shift regulation or a kickdown regulation came later, I think, on this car. Normally there are two valves, one over here and one over there. I don't have them. So where is the vacuum system for on these particular cars? So this hose is from the engine. This grey one is from the engine gouge, for the gouge. Then you have the other one. This one is going to the valve and then to the transmission. This one is from the chamber. And then you have the other one. This one is for the long one, is for the adjustment of the headlamps. So I'm not going to use these things because headlamp adjustment is not needed for my car, because I have self-leveling suspension front and the rear, so it will be always level. So not needed. I don't have any engine controls with EGR or transmission controls that need a vacuum. So why should I build it back into the car? So it doesn't make any sense. So the central locking of the doors is a separate system. That's done with a pump under the rear bench, and that is all yellow lines. So I'm going to check to be sure, but I don't think anything is controlled with vacuum, also not on the ventilation system. So I'm going to remove it because it saves me some busy lines running through the car. So next thing, what I'm also going to do is I installed already the 2 hydraulic lines for the suspension. So I'm going to build everything back here. Also on the other side, got new clips. Big, what is it, 3mm clips. So that's the next thing to do. So front coolers installed. Intercooler in, both coolers on the sides are in. Wiring as far as needed. Hydraulics are in, new bulbs. Our new spring, accumulators, spring accumulators, new ones. The old ones were gone. I could really see it that they were damaged. So this is all in. The line is still disconnected because I have to fill the tubes, or the shock absorbers. Other side, I'm busy with the rear axle. It's going underneath the car for the last time. Greased everything in. Stabilizer bar is the original one. Yesterday I fitted the W210 model one, a thicker one, but it will not fit because I have these bulbs in here where the rear springs need to go. So it's not that big of a problem because the rear suspension is going to be harder when the front is heavier, so it's more a point in the front that I have a bigger stabilizer bar. In the front I don't have it. It's a bit of a shame. I really want to have a thicker one, so I think this is 12. The other one I have was 18mm, so just go with this one. Cannot do anything about it. So going to the rear axle is completely built. Earlier in the series you can find a video of me rebuilding this rear axle, so I have already done it a year ago or something, more than a year ago I think. So it has been on underneath the donor car. Also custom axles underneath, fully solid axles, so custom made. So everything is in. Brake set is completely renewed. It's E55 W210 model in the rear. Yeah. Also hydraulic self-leveling suspension will be the same setup as in the front. What I have built over there, here, I also have to build over here. So that all needs to be done in a later stage. Also, yeah, the rear differential is also from a 420 W210 model, so it's a big diff, 288 or 282 it is, the ratio. So it's the good ratio for the engine. Same as in the W220 models where the engine comes from. So let's put it in the car. So last update for this video is I have the rear axle mounted. It's all in place. Brakes are all connected, brake lines are in. This is just an original W124 brake line. It's all connected. Hard lines are in. I'm using Cunifair hard lines, so it's better than copper and will not corrode as fast as steel. So I think it's the best of both worlds. So it's in there. Also this side is in. It's all connected and laid in here. All connected to the original line that is going back to the ABS system. So that's also connected. I will show you on top of the car. So the only thing I need to do in the underbody is I will have to change the center bearing connection because it's a different one, because I'm using a W210 center shaft, and I have to install all the hydraulics in here. So bulbs are both in. So I'm busy with some parts for the actuator in here for the leveling. So that's it underneath here. For the rest I can show you something. Yeah, the coolers are all installed. I had already showed it. Also the front stabilizer bars in. R129, very thick piece. In the front is always more weight on the front wheels. So it's the best is to have it on the front, of course, but I also wanted to have it back. I had the same problem in the well, 90 projects. So brakes is all connected, front lines are also all in. You can see it here, brake lines are in. These need to be tie wrapped in here. So all looks pretty good. So I will lower it and then show you the front. That's it. So front of the car. Suspension all in, lines are connected. They are put rough in here, so I need to get them all tied in. It's also here, the two lines, these are from the front, left and right side of the wheel. There's another brake line for that wheel is in here. The other brake line for this wheel is in here. And this is the brake line in the front that's in here. This is for the suspension. So it's all connected. I want to straighten them a little bit more out, and I'm going to put some extra rubbers in here, but it's always very hard if you have very straight steel lines to have it look very good. I think it looks good, but it can always be better. So all the clips needs to go on, isolation needs to in here, and I have to connect those lines for the brake and the suspension. That's all in. So for the next video it will be rear suspension. I want to have it all sorted out, so the hydraulic part, so with the valve, and the leveling actuator needs to go in. So I mean level actuator, I mean this piece. I ordered a different connection from here. That's just better that it's connected here. And there will be a video that I'm going to start on the engine. So if I have the suspension all done in here, also in the back, I will start on this dismantling of the engine, because I'm going to change all the internals. The pistons will be stayed the same, but rods will be changed, new bearings in it, new head bolts, clean everything, check everything, check all the dimensions, new head bearings, new conrod bearings, everything will be new. And it needs to be cleaned inside for sure. So I'm also going to change the timing chain. I have to have a look how much stretches in there. It's just in factory spec. I will just leave it and change all the how you say that, all the O-rings. On the front are some critical O-rings in this block. The chain guides will be changed and that sort of stuff. So I'm first going to look into it. So will be very nice to see that when I have finished this, and yeah, then we will see how fast ordering engine parts will be. Yeah, I could order it in front, but you never know what you see in the engine, what you really need. So I want to check everything before I'm going to order all the stuff. So of course it will leave me like 3-4 weeks behind on schedule maybe, but yeah, it needs to be done the right way, so that's the plan. So hope you like this video about this S124 V8 turbo project. If there are any questions, comment below, or go to my website. That's also links over here, jamesspeedshop.com. If you got any questions, you can ask me everything about this project, no problem. My logo is on the right corner. You can go to my homepage here on YouTube, see all the other projects. So, hope you liked it. See you for the next one. Bye bye.